Hiacynta, thank you very much for talking with me. You recently graduated from the BeCoach Academy Professional Coaching Diploma program. So I am very curious to learn your experience, how it has been, what you can share with people who are interested in the program. I have a couple of questions, but feel free to also lead our conversation. As coaches, it's always a co-creation, so we can also co-create this together.
Yeah.
The first question I have, we will go to the beginning. What made you decide to get coaching training?
All right. So first of all, thank you for all the support. I will, every single chance I'm gonna have, I will use to show my gratitude. I think I have this huge need to do so because of the contribution you personally, you and Elena had on my life and BeCoaching Academy. So I will use also this mini moment for this. Thank you again. And let's use this time also to share my story. It was a powerful journey from the beginning. And to answer your question, what made me make this choice is actually the answer lies a little bit in who I am and what is my profession. And I'm a psychologist. I'm currently doing my PhD in Spain. It's a very painful and long process to be in academia, and I mean painful for me, not for everybody. So, but it's a long process and usually long for everybody. And as psychologist, I was trying to figure out a way, how can I work with people and how can I contribute and support others. And I came across coaching long time ago during my studies, bachelor studies, and later on during my master. And one of my family close friends is a coach. So I connected the dots. I listened to my needs and what the inner voice was telling me, that I felt a need also to make a contribution and find a practical way to do so. And I just started searching for programs and started doing my research. How do I start? So that's how it started. That's how the journey started.
What made you choose us, BeCoach Academy, in your research?
I remember it so vividly, like it was yesterday. So when I was doing the research, obviously I started with the ICF website, and as I'm doing my PhD in Spain, and I'm Polish, by the way, so I was searching for something to do the training remotely and something in English, in order to also practice the way of coaching in the language in which I would like to work. So I started searching on the ICF website for courses which are remote and which are going to be held in English, and a lot of courses pop up. So I needed to narrow it down. And for personal reasons, I have a connection to Germany. And I also know Germany a little bit. And I know that in Germany, the ways, like simply sometimes practical ways, they just work. So for that reason, I thought, okay, let's narrow it down to Germany first. And I wrote down a couple of phone numbers, and I just started calling. So that's how it was. And that's how I came across you, and I called you.
And then how did you decide that it's a good place to join?
All right, I was waiting for this question, because for this I'm not sure if you remember our conversation, but honestly, I remember it so vividly, like it would be yesterday. Because on that day, or like those 2 days, I was doing my research and calling different companies. And for a couple of reasons, some companies were not having classes right that moment, or they didn't do it in English. There were different things, and I narrowed it down to two options which had open possibilities, and then I called you, and we had our first conversation. And my goodness, I had, I think, 1,000 questions to you. I think it was, okay, 100 maybe. Seriously, I remember I had the list, and I still have it in my agenda, and it was a long list. And I asked you all of those questions during that phone call, and you answered all of them patiently. And it was a very long phone call, but thanks to this, and thanks to your patience, and all the way long, I knew that I'm not, I don't know, I just knew this was a good fit, that you understand me as well. You understand also my needs. I think I'm not gonna go into the like very detailed needs I had, but needs and questions, and you address them all. And yeah, so I think it was this personal touch and flexibility, and also understanding and patience. And what I loved, and that was a game changer, you proposed that I join a free event. It was a half an hour or 1 hour event held online. And this was like a piece of coaching, first time for me, which I experienced. And that was a great experience. You created immediately a lovely space, and I figure it out. Oh, this is how it's gonna be. Wow, this is so different and powerful, and it opened my eyes already during this half an hour or 1 hour meetup with strangers, total strangers. And I remember that meeting vividly as well. So those couple of things, I think.
Well, thank you. I have to appreciate your preparedness, because you talk about my patience, but I love questions, and you also, I think, as coaches, when there are questions, then it's easy to answer. So I think you made it easier for us to understand each other. I'm happy that you are giving it to me as an appreciation, but we also have to appreciate you that you have done your preparation, and it was clear for you what you needed. Clarifying the needs was also a homework you have done very well. And I hear you saying you also experienced it, so you can compare how it felt based on what you have heard, and it matched for your needs. So I'm happy that your experience worked this way. So that was the beginning before you joined the course. So I'm curious right now about your experience going through the program and having graduated. So what was this experience like for you? What changed?
Well, what a powerful question. What changed? Like, my life changed because of coaching, definitely. And I know it sounds very like puffy and it's not really specific, but let me make it specific. So first of all, going back to your comment, I think I didn't mention about the beginning that, of course, I had the comparison also with other phone calls. So, well, it was not like this. Well, nobody had so much patience to me or my needs like you did. And then it didn't stop there, because during my experience throughout all the training, it was again the same. Whenever technical issue or personal needs or any other issue pop up, I knew that I'm not gonna feel any judgment from you, or I knew, okay, this is maybe problematic, but for sure we can work something out. And you always showed me the support. But that was, as always, this personal touch. But on top of everything else comes this well-organized program which you created with Elena. And this is a game changer, I think, because how detailed and how well organized it is. It's so clear how it's gonna go. And actually that was thing which was missing in my life, coming from now academia where everything is unknown. After one problem comes another. After one question, there's always 10 more. This felt like my safe zone, actually, that I knew how it's going to be, that I knew what I have to do next, what I have to prepare, what I have to learn. There are many things to do when it comes to training, but it's also clear and well organized from your side. And then during the training weekends, we always have those structures, the well-structured meetings, which are held live, right? So it's not only about general structure of a training program, but also the structure which comes with meetings and the training itself when we meet online personally.
Thank you very much. And you also said, well, when I asked the question, I asked two questions at once, right? That's something that we don't do as coaches. I asked you how was your experience in the program, and I asked you what changed. As normally you have answered one of these questions. So coming back to what changed for you inside of you or in your life, what is the change that you can now look back and say, yes, probably becoming a coach and going through this program had changed this for me?
In a way, I answered it very like at the beginning that it changed my life, and it just feels like so big that I didn't want to unwrap it, and I focused on
and I'm now challenging you to to do so.
You knew, so you're coming back. So let's come back. Well, obviously, the changes were very personal and in many areas of my life. They touched private life, professional life, definitely, and also the area of mental health, personal mental health and well-being as well. We also have the area of life like physical health. Well, maybe in a way, because mental health with personal health is very connected. So when it comes to those four big areas of life, the coaching made a change in all of them. I would have to go in details how and why and what do I mean by that. So let's choose the most obvious professional life change. Well, it equipped me with not only knowledge, but most importantly, skills. This was what was lacking, and this is what I really needed, and coaching has provided this. How to work professionally, how to be a coach, but not in theory, but also after training, you really learn how to do this with the skill set. It's just more practical then. It's not only about the theory. So, and of course, it's additional profession. It's additional title. When it comes to professional life, it changes a lot. It opens a lot of doors. So about that area, I think this was a huge game changer for me. About my personal life, definitely open eyes in a way. How do we talk with one another on daily basis? So it's not only about creating the space during sessions, but then it's like a circle. It just becomes a part of us and we cannot now delete this. It's a skill which is visible not only in creating the space for coaching sessions. It's just the skill we learn and we have and which we can use on daily basis. The way my conversation and my listening changed is like totally different.
What was surprising for you?
I don't know how to put this in words. That coaching is so tricky that it can influence you in a way so much that you're going to see it again, not only in one context, but everywhere. I cannot put this in words because again, it becomes who we are and becomes a part of who we are. The way we talk and listen can change the relationships immediately. Any relationships, long term and just random relationships, like conversations. So I think that was the biggest surprise.
So I will invite you now to come up with a metaphor or a story to describe how this experience will be for someone who is considering to become a coach, how the experience of doing it with BeCoach Academy feel like if you would use a metaphor.
Coaching training felt like going into like a super dark forest, which is like a little bit messy and like it's very old and without really clear path in there. And I'm just, okay, I know that there's something at the end of this forest or in the middle of this forest and I want to find it. So, well, I go in and then along the way, I find the path, the very individual rhythm and path I start to like. And I start to gather some beautiful things along the way, like, I don't know, beautiful stones or something which reminds me of something which was very nice. And I keep on just going through this path until I find finally what I wanted to find at the end. At the end of the journey, in the middle of the forest, there's this beautiful meadow full of flowers and just butterflies, and it was all worth it, you know?
Thank you, Hiacynta. What else would you like to add to round up the experience?
If you're not sure if coaching is for you, if you're listening to me and you think, I don't know, she's a psychologist, I don't know, I'm a manager and I don't know, this is what I want to do, just write an email or call Isil or Elena and maybe join some events they are planning and have a look. There's no need to make a decision right here, right now, but just have a look.
Thank you so much. You finish with a call to action. It's a wonderful ending.
It's just what I think I would like to hear when I would be wondering or struggling to make a choice. There's no need to make a choice right now. Just have a look and explore.